Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. Welcome to trade number 12. Taking a look at our last trade, as you remember, some of our marks show up on the next day. But on our prior trade, we entered at the end of the day here. And the following day was a pretty good day, and we actually took an exit. And what we're always looking to do is get in at a better price. So on trade number 12, this setup is actually looking really good. We took an exit at this level. The next day, the price is gapping down. That's a good sign, and continue to fall. Fell all the way down to this level. And because of that, Adam likes this setup, and he's going to go ahead and make an entry at this point. So we can watch that trade go in live. And trade number 12 is on. All right, so as you saw, we had a pretty decent entry rate at this level. It does show up in the next day, so it's marked here. You can also see that we actually are in a position by this yellow bar. That's an active position and does show our profit and loss. So just a little tip on how to read the chart. But after our entry, you had a nice gap up. We thought we were in really good shape, but unfortunately the market did not cooperate with us, and it was a big fall. So at this point, Adam's trying to figure out when exactly are we going to go in. Is this just a pullback? Are we going to head back up? We like to give it a little time to figure out what's going to happen, but as you can see, it was one day after another, followed by continual drops in the market. This is a particularly difficult scenario because we are definitely taking some losses, and it looks like there's no end in sight on this. You know, and each day there's a little bit of a gap up and then a fall, a gap up and a fall, gap up and a fall. So it's not looking very good at all on this trade. In this particular day, you know, the market did gap up, ended up moving upwards a little bit, and we're just in a bad spot. So, you know, as always, it's interesting to ask, at what point do you get out? Like, this would have been a good point to get out. But, you know, each day is a little bit worse, and what do you do to make that exit happen? Well, Adam decided to get out here. We can watch that exit happen live. And our order goes in, and trade number 12 is over. This is a particularly difficult trade because we have been trailing the market most of the year. We were leading the beginning of the year, then got behind. We finally got ahead on our last trade. Let's see how much damage this trade does. All right, trade number 12 was running right during the end of tax season. I can't imagine a better way to end the tax season with the huge loss. It just makes everything worse. So trade 12 ended on 422. The S&P 500 was just below 500, 499.72. From our last position, it was down 3.85%. So a pretty big loss. It's dropped now to year-to-date returns, buy and hold strategy, 5.14%. So not terrible in terms of year to date. Trade number 12 for us, we took a pretty good loss, almost 5%. And that brings us to a year-to-date return of 3.82. So we had just taken the lead on our last trade. This has definitely hurt us. Now we are trailing, I would say 1.2% or so, and definitely not so good. You can also take a look at some of our key metrics. You know, we expect to be about 70% on winning trades. We're below that now. Profit factor, you know, we'd like to see it about 1.5. Anything over 1 means we're beating the market. We'd like to beat the market by about 1.5 times. So we're trailing on every metric at this point. You know, from the beginning of the time I started doing the videos, I said I would share these trades are honest trades. These are my real trades, and they're my real results. So I wish I could be ahead of the market every single time, but we have certainly been trailing for a bit. You know, I mentioned in the beginning we were leading for a bit, then fell behind, caught back up, and that last trade did not help us much. So right now you can see our 4-year running and year-to-date returns trailing the market.
Hopefully, trade 13 will turn out a little better. We'll have to wait and see next time.
That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.